It's Yash. Okay, let's debunk some things today about transmuting your sexual energy. There's so many videos out there talking about how it's the total opposite. You ever notice in life, a lot of things are backwards? It's like the opposite. What the mainstream are thinking, it's actually digging you more into hell than the opposite. It's a lot of things like that. This is one of them. Talk about stimulating yourself. Stimulate yourself, activate your sexual energy, and then you take that energy and then you like manifest something. Okay, I'm gonna stimulate myself. Oh yeah, that feels good. And then the energy starts to activate, and then you say, I want $1 million. Okay, there. Think that's how it works? Remember that Om Institute in San Francisco? This is what this was about. They'd have they're just a bunch of sex addicts calling it like something spiritual. There's a lot of tantric circles like that. I knew a guy. I saw his picture. He's like sitting in a group, Facebook or something, a while ago. And he's with the girl, and they're doing their little tantric thing, looking at each other. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? No, it's spiritual. Now, he didn't say that, but you got to catch this out. Who has this level of self-honesty? This is the problem with spirituality. In any field, I've said before, 90% of any field is just full of it. There's only about 10% that's truly authentic. Okay, let's go back to the Om Institute. And so you basically just got a bunch of, well, they target these girls who are lonely and insecure and have a predisposition to addictions. And then they'd come, and then you get these guys that probably couldn't get laid if their life depended on it to stimulate the girls, right? It was edging, though. It wasn't about orgasm. They just wanted to get you stimulated. You get addicted to dopamine. This is the point. This is what the video is about. This is the debunking thing here. That I want to finish that story, but it's a myth to think that if you just edge and you don't orgasm, that you're not losing energy. It's not the case. In fact, you could lose more energy, especially if you're doing it all the time. And if you're a real addict, you're going to do it all the time. See, I was a real addict in the past. This is how I know about it. I was like, okay, I'm going to stop ejaculating. I'm going to preserve my semen, but I'm going to like edge. And then you can find these. Everybody merchandises everything nowadays. And they wrote this book. This well-known, tantric teacher in Thailand. He wrote a book called "Masturbate Your Way to Heaven." So that's what I was doing. I was trying to masturbate my way to heaven. So you get real close. It's called the big draw. You get real close, right, to the edge, and you stop, and you try to make the energy, and you circulate the energy. Oh, wow, I'm healing myself. Yeah, I'm making all the energy going. No, I'm burning up my nervous system is what I'm doing. Now, it can take some years to figure that out because the nervous system in the body, the human body, is very resilient. At some point, though, you're going to burn out your adrenal glands and your nervous system. And I think girls probably run the risk of doing that even quicker, maybe. And then you'll notice your emotions are all over the place, mood swings, you're tired, kind of just low. Why? Because you're burning out your nervous system. You lose your ojas. See, some girls, they justify and rationalize, and they say, oh, I don't have semen. Sorry, guys. I can do this all day and night. Perks of being a girl. Nope. We all have ojas. What's ojas? It's vitality. It's the essence, you can say, of everything that holds everything together. It's in the sexual energy. It's that energy that actually creates the baby. It's not just the ovum and the semen. That's superficial. It's the ojas. Ojas gets burnt out in many different ways, but a big way is through this stimulation of our dopamine center, which is what happens when we edge. Burn up your ojas. And that, you burn up your ojas, your nervous system's going to suffer. And then you're going to have all these consequences and side effects from that. You see, this channel, I'm not interested in quantity. I'm not interested in views or appealing to the mainstream. I don't want the mainstream like watching this. Well, they're not going to anyway. I want to find those few female fish that like already know this somewhere inside, and then when this message gets shared, it activates. You're like, damn it, I knew that somehow. Instinctively, you knew that. You like intuitively already know this. I'm just like activating it. These are the people I'm talking to. Did I finish my Om Institute example? So that's what they were doing. You had a bunch of girls that were just had issues, wayward girls, and then you have the insecure guys that couldn't get any play, and then they're like, I'm going to help you. Like, I'm going to help you release your trauma and work on yourself. And the girl's like, oh, that's cool. Oh, and it feels so good in the process. And then, of course, after some time, it backfires. It just backfires. Like, they get more trauma. And they lose all their money. They're charging thousands of dollars to do this. Imagine. But this is the emptiness and loneliness and hungry feeling people have. It's sad, actually, that they're like willing. They just want to escape how they feel. And if it costs me $10,000, okay. And if I get stimulated on top of that, oh, that's a good deal. And it's like, and like I said, it's but that book that the guy in Thailand's writing for the guys, Masturbate Your Way to Heaven. Who in their 20s and 30s aren't gonna eat that up? I have another channel, Beyond the Alchemy. It's for guys. Actually, I recommend, well, there's already some girls watching that because I get more deeper into all this. So if you want to know more about this, you can go to that channel too. But don't tell the guys to come here. See, I'm trying to make this just for girls. Some guys sneak over here. It's cool. As long as you be cool, it's cool. Who's not going to eat that book up? Masturbate Your Way to Heaven. They're like, because they're already addicts. They're already masturbation, edging addicts. And now you got somebody who's considered like knowledged up, telling you, like, not only do you don't have to stop doing this, you actually, it's going to take you to heaven. So they're the younger guy. They're like, oh wow, yeah, full on, man. I know. I had to ride that bus too a little bit, but I just woke up from it fairly quickly. I'm like, this is nonsense. I don't care what these Taoists and people say. Like, they're not authentic. It's not authentic because, like, I did the experiment. I'm like the scientist, and my body's the laboratory, and I conducted these experiments, and my findings are no. It overburdens your nervous system because of the dopamine. The dopamine's the problem. Doesn't matter if you don't orgasm. Orgasm, you lose more dopamine. Think about how it spasms you when you orgasm, right? I don't think it's a mistake. It's called orgasm, and it relates to spasm. It sounds like spasm. It spasms you. Women even more intense than guys. Even more intense. And you can do it multiple times, like easily. You think you're not losing energy? Now, am I telling you don't have an orgasm? See, this is how this is how ignorant people will hear this message. They'll say, oh, this dude's like telling us not to orgasm. I'm not saying that. Even I'm saying I'm not saying that, people will still say I'm saying that. I know how the collective human mind works. I don't take it personal, man. This planet's not my home. This body's not me. I'll be here, I don't know, a couple more decades, I'm out. So I'm like, no problem. People think whatever you want. It's like, it's all good. I understand. And I have compassion because I understand where you're coming from. I know how the ego works. So when you leave hateful comments, which I don't get many, I like it. I think the algorithm's doing a pretty good job. It's like finding those women who are tuned to this. It's cool. But you know, there's duality. You're gonna get some people that misunderstand. When they leave any kind of message that's just it's a bit abusive, it shows me they don't understand. It's all, how can I get mad? You know, how can you treat a sick person bad? If some handicapped person came up and said, "You're stupid," are you going to hit him? No, you're going to be like, you know, he's probably having a hard time. That's how I look at it. All right, did I touch on everything I wanted to? Yeah, so we're talking about alchemy. We're talking about sexual transmutation. What do you think? You really think, like, do you think you can understand alchemy? Do you think your mind can figure that out? That you can just stimulate yourself and then just use your mind to say, okay, money. You think that's how it works? The alchemic process, this is a universal thing. The universe does this in some magical way. Alchemy's magic. You can't do that with your will and your mind. You're just lying to yourself. Like I did, like I used to. You see, I'm not a hypocrite. That's what I'm saying. I don't like, oh, you're stupid. Like, I did all this stuff. This is how I know about it. So there's no judgment. I'm calling out I'm calling out ignorance and misnomers. I wish somebody would have called that out for me more quickly. Of course, I did have a really good, authentic teacher in India, and I think he did try to call it out. I just couldn't hear it at the time. You know, we can only hear this when we're like ready to hear it. And so this message is for those who are ready to hear it. When you start, look, the main goal, purpose of every human being, whether they know it or not, is to wake up to our true nature, which is who we are. You can say consciousness. When this body dies, at the latest, we'll know that. You'll know that. Or those of you, if you had any near-death experiences, you know. Those people usually aren't afraid to die because you're like, whoa. I know, I'm not this body. Like, that's obvious. You have direct confirmation that, okay? So this is the highest purpose for a human being, is to recognize who we are beyond this body, this form. With that said, the best way to go about realizing that is to preserve our energy. Well, losing sexual energy in ojas is that's the most potent energy that we have. It makes human beings. So, this is why I'm saying be careful of when you're stimulating your dopamine center. That burns up your energy. What happens then? Then you have less energy available for this alchemic transformative process that the universe is trying to experience through your form. The universe incarnates as all these little individual forms, blah, 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 and then it wants to wake up to realize its universal nature. I'm getting into my spiritual channel now. If you want to go hear more about that, go see Spiritual Renaissance. I have a link on the YouTube channel homepage. Just scroll down and you'll see it. That's the purpose of me making the videos. Why I'm not just saying like don't lose your energy because you shouldn't lose your energy. No. Why am I saying be careful of burning up your energy and stimulating your dopamine center? Because you're losing energy. Why do you need energy? For this spiritual transformation that some of you know is your destiny to have. This will accelerate things when you have more energy. Then you get the downloads from the universe. You get the subtle realizations, and that's the transformative alchemic process. The universe is doing that for us. We're not doing it, but we need the energy available for the universe to do that. This is the game. I don't know how many people get me, but that's the game. So I think we're good. Where are we at? 14 minutes. I do consultations if anybody feels moved to. I mean, hopefully the videos suffice. You know, I'm not like, got to do a consultation, but I'm just saying there's some people that they want individual attention, and so my email's on the YouTube banner. And like I said, go see my other channels if you want. Beyond the Alchemy, that's for guys, and I get more into this. You can see the playlist I made on edging, because that's I feel what the girls would be more interested in. And read some of the comments from the guys. They're funny. They're good. Innocent. You might see a different angle or flavor from guys than the ones that you're used to talking to who are trying to be cool all the time, alpha male. You know, you might see another side. So a lot of the girls like that too. All right, I'll see you.